Imagine a room shimmering with gold, mirrors, and 6 tons of pure amber, walls glowing like trapped sunlight, mosaics glinting in candlelight, and panels carved so delicately they seemed to breathe. It was called the Amber Room, a masterpiece of art and empire, and one of humanity's greatest treasures. But then it vanished, gone, without a trace. For over 80 years, historians, treasure hunters, and even governments have searched for it. Some say it was destroyed in the chaos of war. Others believe it's still hidden deep underground, waiting to be found. This is the mystery of Russia's lost treasure, the Amber Room. To understand the enigma, we must begin not with its disappearance, but with its creation. The story starts in the early 18th century in Prussia, now part of modern-day Germany. It was the year 1701, and King Frederick I of Prussia dreamed of a room unlike any other, a chamber that would dazzle visiting dignitaries, a symbol of his nation's refinement and power. He turned to master craftsmen Andreas Schluter, a German Baroque sculptor, and Gottfried Wolfram, a Danish amber artisan. Together, they set out to build what no one had ever attempted, an entire room made of amber, gold leaf, and precious stones, crafted in the Baroque style of glowing opulence and divine light. Amber was already known as Baltic gold, prized for centuries, not only for its beauty, but for its ancient mystery. Fossilized resin from prehistoric forests, holding tiny insects, seeds, and bubbles of air millions of years old. In amber, time itself was trapped. By 1709, the room was complete. Panels of amber mosaics framed with gold, mirrors multiplying the light until it seemed to shimmer endlessly. But history had other plans. In 1716, Prussia's next king, Frederick William I, made a diplomatic gesture that would change history. He gifted the Amber Room to Peter the Great of Russia, cementing an alliance between the two powers against Sweden. When the amber panels arrived in Russia, Peter was mesmerized. He had the room installed first in the Winter House in St. Petersburg, but it was under his daughter, Empress Elizabeth, that the Amber Room became what legend would remember. Elizabeth ordered the panels moved to the Catherine Palace in Tsarskoye Selo and expanded it beyond imagination. Additional amber, gold, and mirrors were added. The room grew to cover over 180 square feet, glowing from floor to ceiling in rich, honeyed light. It became a wonder of the empire, a private sanctuary of beauty, and later, a national treasure of Russia's imperial majesty. Visitors described stepping into it as entering the sun. For nearly 2 centuries, the Amber Room stood as one of Europe's great artistic achievements. It survived revolutions, fires, and political upheaval until World War II. In June 1941, Nazi Germany launched Operation Barbarossa, the largest invasion in human history, and the German army swept deep into Soviet territory. When they reached Catherine Palace, curators rushed to protect the priceless Amber Room. They tried to dismantle it, but the centuries-old amber had become brittle and fragile. Pieces cracked and crumbled as they worked. In desperation, they decided to hide it behind wallpaper, hoping the invaders wouldn't notice. But it was too late. The German forces arrived in September 1941 and discovered the hidden treasure. Within 36 hours, a special Nazi art unit carefully dismantled the entire room. Amber panels, mirrors, and gold carvings, and packed it into 27 wooden crates. The Amber Room was sent to Königsberg, a city in East Prussia, now Kaliningrad, Russia. There, it was installed in Königsberg Castle's museum, where it was displayed for 2 years, glowing once again under a new empire's gaze. and then it disappeared. By 1945, as the war turned against Germany, the Allies began bombing Königsberg. The castle and much of the city were reduced to rubble. One of those air raids, on August 29, 1944, was said to have destroyed the Amber Room. At least, that's what some German officials claimed after the war. But others weren't so sure. Eyewitnesses said they saw crates being moved out of the castle shortly before the bombings, possibly by SS officers, possibly headed for one of the many secret bunkers scattered across East Prussia. From that moment on, the trail of the Amber Room went cold. In the decades since, the Amber Room has become one of the most hunted treasures in history. Dozens of expeditions have searched for it. In salt mines, under lakes, in mountain tunnels, and even beneath collapsed castles. Some believe it was hidden in a mine near Halberstadt or Merkers in Germany. Others that it lies beneath the Baltic Sea, aboard a sunken ship known as the Wilhelm Gustloff, which was torpedoed by a Soviet submarine in 1945 while fleeing East Prussia. In 1979, a new theory emerged that the room's remains were secretly taken to Soviet archives after the war, and the government chose to suppress the truth to protect its own myths. But no evidence has ever been found. Each discovery, a rumored crate, a panel fragment, a hidden chamber, has led only to dead ends and deeper mystery. Some treasure hunters insist the Amber Room still exists, hidden beneath the ruins of Königsberg Castle, which itself was demolished during Soviet reconstruction in the 1960s. They claim that deep tunnels beneath the old foundations still hold sealed Nazi vaults. Others are certain it was lost forever, destroyed in the fires that consumed the castle in 1944. After all, amber burns easily, and its beauty might have ended in a blaze of gold and smoke. And yet, every few years, another clue emerges. A photograph, a rumor, a deathbed confession. In the 1990s, German investigators even found a small mosaic panel believed to be part of the original Amber Room, in the possession of a soldier's family, hidden since the war. But the rest of the masterpiece remains missing. In 2003, after 24 years of painstaking work, a full reconstruction of the Amber Room was completed at the Catherine Palace in St. Petersburg. Russian and German artisans worked from old photographs and fragments to rebuild it exactly as it once was. Panel by panel, carving by carving, piece by glowing piece. It stands there today, a shimmering resurrection, a tribute to art, patience, and lost history. But as beautiful as it is, the question remains, where is the original? Some say the Amber Room was never meant to survive, that it was too perfect, too symbolic, a creation of peace that couldn't live through war. Others believe it still lies hidden, sealed in the earth, waiting for someone to find it. A frozen sun beneath the soil. Whatever the truth, the Amber Room endures as a symbol of humanity's greatest contradictions. Our power to create beauty beyond measure, and our endless talent for destroying it. Tonight, as you listen and drift into the quiet, imagine walking into that room. The light of thousands of candles reflecting in golden amber, the air warm and shimmering, the silence of centuries around you. You reach out to touch the wall and feel the faint hum of time itself, trapped in gold, waiting to be remembered. And somewhere, maybe in the dark heart of Europe, the real Amber Room still glows unseen, its light hidden from the world, but not lost, never lost. This is the mystery of the Amber Room, a treasure that vanished in war, a masterpiece reborn from memory, and a question that refuses to die. Some beauty is too powerful to be owned, only remembered.